What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about spider lines. Now, I know everybody loves the spider lines. It's one of the most asked questions I get.
Frankie Candles, how do I draw these spider lines? How do I draw these spider lines?
Now, if you want to learn how to draw spider lines on Bitcoin, you could go ahead and check the video linked in the card above or in the description down below. And that is a full tutorial on how to get spider lines on your chart. But today, I want to answer another popular question that I get, and that is,
Frankie Candles, how do I get spider lines on Ethereum?
and today, I'm going to give you the sauce on the ETH spider lines. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of these great tutorials or urgent market updates that we upload to the channel. Now, obviously, a lot of you guys will have heard me talk about spider lines, and if you're new, basically, all spider lines are very reliable levels of support and resistance, but they are drawn a very specific way, and I do want to preface this. I did not invent spider lines. People ask me that all the time. Oh, did you make spider lines? You created it? And I did not create spider lines. I believe CryptoFace, shout out to CryptoFace, actually created the spider lines, and if not, he was just the first person I saw do it, so I don't know who created these, but they do work, and they are some of the most reliable levels of support and resistance that I have ever drawn on a chart, with the most common question on my channel being, Frankie, how do we get these on Ethereum? We look at them on Bitcoin all the time, and they work super well, especially when you could get confluence between spider lines and maybe high volume nodes or Fibonacci levels or golden pockets or what have you. These can be extremely strong. So here it is, the Ethereum spider line video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the charts, and I'm going to show you guys how to finally put some spider lines on Ethereum. Let's get into it. First off, guys, we're going to start here on the Bitcoin chart. For anybody new and for anyone who doesn't know what spider lines are, these are diagonal lines that shoot all the way across your screen, and they span basically all the way back to 2018. And I'm going to show you how to get these on your chart. And just to show you guys how reliable these levels can be, I'm going to zoom into a smaller time frame here, and you can see here these levels are definitely respected. You can see we got a strong rejection right here. We actually got caught up right here. You get support here, rejection, rejection, little bit of support before losing this level. Beautiful rejection, beautiful support, and this works on any time frame. You could come all the way down to the 15-minute. You can see we actually tapped this level right here, almost to the dollar. So these levels are super reliable. And again, you can use this on any time frame. And if we zoom out to a higher time frame here, you can see we actually got our first top of this bull market actually perfectly topped out right against this spider line at about 65K. You can see as we came down from our second top here and got our first big dump other than this one, you can see we got beautiful support on top of another spider line here, held it before losing it and getting stuck between these two spider lines here. So very reliable levels of support and resistance. And again, you can look at these on any level as long as there's a spider line in that area. So let's go ahead and jump on over to the Ethereum chart, and I'm going to show you guys how you can draw these on Ethereum. Now, I do just want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. I do experiment a little bit with these spider lines, but they do actually tend to work very well. I would say just as well as they do on Bitcoin, and I don't really know why these work so well, but to be 100% honest, as long as it works and we can make trades based off of these levels and they are actually reliable, we will go through and test them to see how strong they are. As long as they work, that's really all that matters because as long as they're strong and they work, you can make money off of them. But first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're on the weekly time frame. And then the second most important thing is that you are in logarithmic, so make sure your log button right down here is selected. And then you're going to want to zoom in and come all the way to basically find the bottom of the 2018 bear market, which was right here at about $80 for Ethereum. So you're going to want to find this low, and this is going to be where you're going to be drawing your spider lines. So to start drawing your spider lines, you're going to want to come over to your toolbar, come to the second section right here, trend line tools, and you're going to want to open up that draw and come to your third tool down, and it is called Ray. So you're going to want to select that. And then to make it much easier and quicker to draw these lines, we're going to come all the way down here. We're going to select the magnet tool, and then we're going to also select the stay in drawing mode tool, so we can just quickly, plot a bunch of these without constantly having to come back and click the ray tool every time we want to draw one. But basically, guys, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to come to the drop in 2018 and start drawing your spider lines. Now, you can experiment with this. You can draw them from all over and see where they lay. You could draw them starting all from the top here, all the way down these purple candles and these blue candles as well. You could experiment. I wouldn't really recommend drawing them all the way from up here, but I typically just kind of start around the mid drop here. And then once you start plotting these and you see where they end up on the current price action, you'll kind of understand where they need to be. But essentially, you're going to want to come between the top and the bottom of the 2017 bull market and the 2018 bear market, and you're just going to want to start drawing your lines there. An important thing when drawing your spider lines is you want to go ahead and select your ray tool, and you're going to want to make sure that your magnet tool is snapping to the body of the candle. And then what you're going to want to do is you want to make sure you're not getting snapped up to the wick. You want to make sure you're on the body. So I'm going to start drawing them right about here, which is Monday, October 8th, 2018. And we're going to draw our first spider line. And what you're going to want to do is you can draw them on all these different candles and see where they where they fall. But the main important thing is that you come here to the top of our little fake out 2019 bull run. And for Ethereum, the top of that wick did come in at about $362, but you're going to want to lay the ray right on top of the body of this candle. If you're not using the magnet tool, you're going to have to kind of be careful about where you lay it, but if you're using the magnet tool, you could just hover right over that body, and you can click again to release the ray tool, and it will lock it in place like that. Now, typically what I do is I kind of just go down the line, and I draw these in the same way, body to body. Body to body, right? So you go body to body, and you can see this one's obviously going to come a lot lower than these are. So you kind of have to figure out the angles to find exactly which spider lines you need, or which ones are going to be actually useful to you during your trading, depending on where the price is at the time. But if you needed to get spider lines at lower prices, let's say Ethereum absolutely dumped and you wanted to get spider lines lower, you can try to draw them from higher up on this dump. So the higher we go, obviously the angle will be lower. So I just start to draw them here. And once you get a few of them plotted, you can actually go ahead and zoom out, go to maybe the daily, and you can zoom out, resize your chart, and you can see that these are already getting respected. You could see that we got wicked down, tapped this level perfectly, perfect support. We lost the level, and then we kind of got hung up here, kind of bounced around here, held this support, held that support, held this support, came up, perfect touch. You could see just how strong these levels are. It is pretty amazing. Boom, boom, you got support, perfect resistance, perfect support, right? And then you can just go ahead and test these. Now, obviously, they're not going to work 100% of the time. Obviously, if you watch this channel, you'll know nothing works 100% of the time, but you could just see how reliable these levels are. Perfect resistance. You start playing around on this level just a little bit. We are actually really just playing around with this line right here. But you guys get the point. They're very respected, right? If you wanted to get some, we don't really need any spider lines lower, but depending on where price is, that's kind of how you can pick where on this, if you go to the weekly, you could try to figure out, exactly where on this dump down you would start drawing them. So it's going to depend on where price went, right? So obviously you don't have to draw many for it to cover a lot of area here. So you can also see here that even though we drew a ton of spider lines here, we don't really have any gaps. But if you come over here, we have this massive gap here. And you might be thinking, how do I get spider lines in this level? Well, if we pull up the VPVR, you'll actually notice that there isn't much support there at all, and you can see that by this big volume gap. So there's a reason there's no spider lines in this area, and that's because there's not really that much support in this area. So this, in my opinion, here's a little bit of sauce for you guys, a little bit of little trick of the trade that I like to use is you could double click this and actually change the color of it. Maybe you want to change it to red or bright pink, or maybe you want to change it to white so it stands out and hey, if we lose this spider line, this might be a really important level to lose, and if we lose it, we might actually take a massive dump down to potentially the next spider line here, which would be a pretty big dump of about about 50%. So there it is, guys. It's almost the same thing as Bitcoin. It's almost the exact same way that you draw the spider lines, but you just go over to ETH. You go to the same area of price action. Again, you want to come to your weekly time frame. Make sure you're on the weekly. That's important. Make sure you're on logarithmic. That is also very important. And you're going to want to come here. Find your 2017 top at about $1,400. Find your 2018 bottom, and then you're going to want to draw, right? You have your top, you have your bottom, and you're going to want to draw your spider lines, at least for the current price action. If you start on the candle of Monday, August 20th, 2018, that should get you pretty good levels, and you can just kind of put them all the way down. But I recommend you experiment, right? Start putting them a little bit higher. See if it hits any candles. See if the levels are respected. But I will say I have tested plenty that, this area between about, if you start about Monday, August 20th, 2018, and draw them all the way to about November 12th, 2018, these are pretty respected levels, and it does cover most of the current price action, at least at the time of recording this video on January 5th, 2023. So, guys, I think that's all I got for this video. This was a short one. It was easy. This is one of the most popular questions I get on my channel. People are dying to get spider lines on their ETH charts, and here it is. It's not that hard. It's not some crazy secret. Very easy to do, and if you're using that magnet tool, you could do it very quickly. I've only been recording for about 14 minutes, and probably 3 minutes out of those 14 minutes was actually drawing the spider lines. So super easy, and again, super respected levels. So there it is, just another tool to put into your trading tool belt, just another thing to have on your chart to give you extra confidence getting in and out of your profitable trades, so you can hop in, grab a few bagels, and hop out. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, yeah. Mashed out.